Tribe members, another educational video. We just did pedigrees. Now we are going to talk about nutrition and supplementation for your Doberman, because Cleo asked me about that. And normally what I would do is I would just have some, pictures of the stuff that I take. But I'm going to recommend that you guys investigate this vet by the name of Dr. Marty. Dr. Marty has been curing cancer in the breed, in all purebred dogs, for decades. And cancer is one of the number one causes of death in Dobermans, isn't it? Doberman DCM. We've got DCM, so we have heart issues. So the things that you want to focus on in nutrition are going to be foods that would be anti-inflammatory foods. Inflammatory conditions cause problems. So if we can keep our dog's diet as alkaline as possible and as free from things that are inflammatory. So, I have 4 Dobermans now, and when I had just 2, I used to feed them bottled water. I'd feed them Crystal Geyser water because I didn't even want to give them the water around here because I know that contributes to cancer. So what I'm going to say is that rather than me giving you a list of supplements that I give, I will tell you some of them that I use. I would say I'm weaning myself off of Amazon. So you've got Vitacost for vitamins, but medicinal mushrooms of all kinds. And recently lion's mane has come out as being something that's very beneficial for dogs. But I would say get a combination of medicinal mushrooms, and I get some bulk mushrooms called mega mushrooms. It's on Amazon, but you could probably find it on Vitacost as well. So I do some dried supplements. I do beet powder because beets are super good for your heart. They're a superfood. And so I think I've said before, I do make bone broth for my dogs, and I use beef bones that I've roasted, and then I put them in a big crock pot, and I add apple cider vinegar, bottled water, garlic salt, garlic powder, onion powder. Yes, you can put those in your foods. It's not going to bother your dogs. They can have a small amount of onions in a broth of soup. You just don't give them a whole fucking onion, but they can have those things. So I give bone broth that I've made with a can of beets and the canned sliced beets and the beet juice. But I also put in a beet powder now, and I put beet powder, about 1/4 teaspoon of beet powder in everybody's dinner, breakfast. I also give them about 1/4 teaspoon of mega mushrooms, and I now add some just additional lion's mane. Hawthorn is very good for heart. And another supplement that I found called Bonita Peptides, supposed to be very good for your heart. If you have a dog that has any kind of pain, Dory has arthritis, she's overweight, we all know she's a fat cow, and we all know that Diva's frustrated and beats herself up daily about what a fat cow Miss Dory is, and I'm trying to get the weight off of her, and she eats hardly anything, but she doesn't exercise enough. So I give my dogs omega-6s every day, and I also give Dory this supplement called PEA. P. But it's something, a very long name, palm something, whatever, but PEA with turmeric. It's an anti-inflammatory. I also give my dogs a combination supplement that is an anti-inflammatory. It has moringa. Did you know that moringa is like super good for you? So anything that's super good for you and your heart is equally good for your dog's heart. So if you're taking something, throw it in their food. And don't be shy about the supplements that you use. Use supplements in bulk and go for the things that you know you're going to take for your heart, your well-being. Give it to them as well. So fish oil capsules, omega-3s, omega-6s, fish oil, beets, cruciferous vegetables. So like a green powder, you make those drinks, your green powder drinks and stuff. give it to your dog as well. So if you're going to feed your dog just kibble, like you can't afford raw because it's just too expensive for whatever reason, make sure you have some supplements in there to add to their nutrition. And, you know, these kibbles are so fucking expensive. If you would just do the math, like some of these kibbles that you're buying, like this farmer's dog and shit, that's like $9 a pound. Come on, you could give your dog filet mignon for fuck's sake. So make sure that you're giving your dog a varied diet, a diverse diet, that you have incorporated a lot of different unique things throughout the week, and these supplements that are simply going to augment their health by mitigating some of these other contributing epigenetic factors that do contribute to the early death of our dogs. So it is just important that you live within your budget, of course, you know, be realistic and live within your budget, but buy supplements in bulk that you yourself would take and give it to them as well. So I'm not going to make any more specific recommendations than that, than just do research for heart and what you could give them, and make sure that you integrate these things into their diet daily. So I spend about $200 a week on just dog food. My supplements, I probably spend $100 a month at least, if not $200 a month on supplements for them. So I'm spending about $1,000 a month on feeding my dogs. And I managed to figure out how to do it because, yeah, it's a lot. But they're my everything, you know, they're all I have. And maybe I'm going to get 10 years. Maybe I'm going to get a little more, I hope. But it's not that long. So I managed to figure it out. So I don't have any more specific recommendations than that. Then I just do the research on supplements that are good for somebody with cardiomyopathy, somebody with cancer, and preventative measures to do that. So if you have to go as far as giving bottled water, Crystal Geyser water, it's $1 for a gallon. They drink about a gallon a day. Is it that big of a deal? Well, if you got 4 of them, might be $4 a day in addition. So I do give them tap water now, but I wish I wasn't. So that is my nutritional education or suggestions. If you have any questions specifically, please put them in the comments. And I will be covering several other topics as well, in addition to continuing my political posts. So for those of you that can respect the fact that as a very passionate patriot to this country, I'm going to be posting information about what's going on in our country because I fucking care. So I really do not appreciate you assholes that make a comment telling me what I should and shouldn't do with my content on my page. If you can learn something about Dobermans from me, maybe you could learn something about politics too. Because maybe after 40 years of being an activist, maybe I know more than you about a lot of things. And so maybe your opinions about politics are as fucked up as your understanding of the Doberman breed. So maybe some of you could actually learn something if you'd actually listen to the posts that I post, the information that I'm putting in, and instead of just jumping to a conclusion that I'm bashing Trump, I'm actually trying to educate the American people on the fascist takeover that's happening in our country right now, and the entire world is terrified. Germany is freaking the fuck out right now with what Trump just did to Ukraine. Panama is about to go to war with us to defend their rights. So is Greenland. Denmark is offering to buy California. And Canada is considering that we might be going to war with them. And we should be expatriating or just joining with Canada, the blue states. So I'm going to be posting this shit. So maybe you could learn something there too. Like you might learn something about Dobermans and politics. Wouldn't that be great? Like you might actually change your mind and believe the truth instead of the bullshit.